Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4. This is gonna be lit! Playing as the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, getting ready for a war against the USSR that I'm feeling a little bit scared about, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like by now we should be a little bit more powerful, but my production is really starting to hurt. Nowhere near enough support equipment or artillery to keep everything up and running at the moment. And yet, if they're going to be attacking by about February of 1940, I think I have just enough time to produce all the equipment I'm going to need to field the rest of these troops. I'm also going to go ahead and field up some infantry for garrisons, because in every one of my test games, which is 2, the USSR launches a naval invasion either here or down here. And maybe they'd even try for over here, but I bet you they'd love to keep it into one little sea tile zone if at all possible. So I want to make sure that we have some Coast Guard divisions so that I don't get snuck up on from behind and they start fielding in loads of troops. That would be very, very bad. So I'm going to train up a handful of little garrison units, very cheap ideally, mostly cost me support equipment in the form of engineering companies. 12 of them should be fine, I hope. And then we're just going to stock up everything we can around these little ports. And at the very least, if they do land, fine, but they won't be able to send in any more reinforcements if they don't control the port. That's going to be the idea. And then with these guys, plus my close air support, we hold the front line at all costs. That's what I'm going for, and I think there might even be a good chance that it works. Let's go ahead and stock up all the troops up over here. Should be fine. I think this is going to work out. It's just a little on the spoopy side. All right, now I do want to spend some of my political power getting an infantry equipment designer for my weapons, because we are probably going to be going for infantry equipment as soon as we have our CAS and fighters upgraded to level 2. That's going to be important for me, of course. At some point, we would be able to swap this out for something like the Ford Motor Company, which, yeah, costs me a lot of consumer goods to license from the US, but 15% mechanized production cost reduction? If we do want to go down this mechanized route with the Iron Wolf thing I have been talking about, and I kind of do, that's not a terrible option for me at some point, but we will see. We will see. I need additional factories and support equipment, then artillery, and then after that, probably a truck for some simple logistics. Get all that set, then I think it's a matter of just getting fighters and CAS as much as we can. We probably should go ahead and trade with Hungary. And then after that, maybe we get some extra tungsten and steel. But I'd like to save these civilian factories a little bit longer, because something I would like to do is build up some forts. No, I'm sorry. These are supply hubs, not... wrong thing. Forts all along the borders. Maybe a couple stacked up in a few areas, but we will revise that in a minute. Let's start with this. We should have enough time to build forts all along the front line, especially right here where I know they can attack me from like 3 different directions, and hold on to this as much as possible. Could even try building some coastal forts. I'm not sure I care too much about that, but maybe like a coastal fort here and a couple here. We'll think about that. I'd also love to get a couple of radar, just so I can better detect enemy fighters and shoot them down in my interception missions. I think that'll be fine. So we're going to finish the supply hub first, and then we're going to do all of these. Then we're going to work on more military factories. Finish the supply hub. There we go. All right. I think we got time to build all of this, believe it or not. Little tight, but I'm pretty sure we can do it. Disperse industry is done. We're going to go for the close air support with the 100% ahead of time bonus, which makes this at least reasonable, so we'll get them a little bit earlier in 1940 to start building up some efficiency and go for a bit of an attack boost, if possible. I am going to go for the doctrine here. I know we have a cost reduction on the way. I know. Right over here. But I don't think we're going to have time to get it before we start the war. Reason being, I was thinking about something. I still like the idea of getting this, but something else we can do? The Forest Brothers. This didn't sound important to me until I realized, wait a minute, when we proclaimed the Greater Commonwealth and got cores on all of Estonian and Latvian states, every zone that I control along the border is a core. So why not get an extra 10% division defense and attack on those core territories? That's really good. That's really good. So I want to pick that up. And of course, the extra 10% from the elastic defense yeah, over here, is going to be great. So all of a sudden, my 21 with infantry, with their entrenchment and everything else, has a pretty decent defense value over here. It's going to take a lot of soft attack from the Soviets to be able to overcome that and inflict maximum casualties. I'll still take damage, but I'm not going to take very much damage. And if they overcome your defense, that's when you start taking a lot of pain. A lot of pain. Now, as it is, I'm not confident we can win just with defense and infantry alone from the Soviet war machine, but once you throw in the fact that I have close air support, not as much as I'd like, but hopefully enough, I think this means we should have enough defense in order to actually hold off the Soviets. I think. I hope. I pray. Let's go for the support weapons. Wait. You know what? No. Let's go for the advanced computing machine thing here. I would like to get that extra 8% research. Yes, this is a little bit ahead of time, but this is really important for me to get. I think we'll be okay. So let's take a look at the recruitment. So far, doing kind of fine. We'll be finished with these guys soon. We just need support equipment there. Then we need support equipment down here. Yes, they're questioning my motives. I know Stalin's a warmonger. He's peeved. He wanted the Germans to take Poland so that he could get half of it for free, but I denied him. I denied him all of that. All right, there's military reforms. Now we can pick up the Forest Brothers. 10% extra power for our anti-communist forces, I think is what I just read there. Hang on. Stories of anti-communist militants. Yep, that's going to be quite the inspiration for us right now. Very topical. Very topical indeed. Yeah, let's deploy these troops as fast as we can. I want them to deploy, like, right here. When do these guys finish? Depends on when we get our equipment. In theory, end of January. That should time out about right. Barely. We may not even have time to redeploy all my troops before they attack. Uh-oh. There's a scary thought. I'd like to do a patrol in the lower Baltic Sea just to reduce the odds of them getting any naval supremacy so that they can land down here, hopefully forcing them to land up here, in which case I really only have two ports to defend, in theory. We finished the coastal forts, so that's good. So in theory, we've reduced attack on the port itself by about 15%. If I stack up a land fort here as well, even if they land on both sides and try to attack it, we can reduce their attack value a little bit. Honestly, though, I'm not sure if that's the right idea. We'll finish with the radar. Then I probably want to defend a little bit along the railroads in particular. Especially over here, because I think there's a supply hub. Yes. I really want to defend this area. Maybe a couple extra forts here and there. I shouldn't need much more than this, though, to be honest. Just to win. Just to hold off the initial wave. This should be all I need. I want 4, though. When we did our Poland Strong campaign, we had a much shorter front line, I believe. But the idea was to build up level 4 forts across the board, which I think gave us a whopping minus 60% attack value from the Soviets, unless they attacked from multiple directions, which they did in some spots, but you get the idea. And that was pretty significant for reducing their attack power, but it's not enough forts that they say, you know what, we don't want to attack anymore, we're going to just sit here. We want to encourage them to go into the meat grinder. We want to bait the Soviets. It's imperative we successfully bait the Soviets. But you get the idea. So we almost have enough support equipment. We're still training the troops. They will be done at the end of January on time because I think we're producing enough support equipment that we can make this work. Okay. Then the question is, can we get enough support equipment to get all the entrenchment I need? We don't have engineers on all of our troops. I don't even have artillery on all of our troops. But we're gonna get really freaking close. Let's, by the way, consider doing some more trade. I want to trade for a bit more of our tungsten and a bit more steel. Fighter 2 is done. Good. Let us now swap over to infantry weapons. And we should be able to buff this up by 1 engine. Our agility is great. I've said it before. It increases your chance to hit enemies and to dodge enemies in a dogfight. So it's both offensive and defensive. It's very, very good for fighters. Okay. So we're going to start working on some of these military factories again in a little bit. Almost done with these forts that I have been working on, though, so that's good. Okay. Could go for a doctrine now. Don't think I need it. Gonna hold on to military power because I'm probably gonna move on to war economy. I'd be tempted to go for total mobilization, but I don't think we can go for women in the workforce as of right now. There's some, I'm trying to remember the exact requirements. It's gotta do something with like war support and stability needs to be very high. We're not gonna have very high stability, so I'm gonna go with that's not gonna work out. So I'd like to just get the war economy at the very least to boost up my, my construction power. Build up those military factories a lot faster. Total mobilization's great. I mean, I would love it. But it's only good if you're willing to accept that you're going to have a lot less recruitable population. I'm probably going to need the manpower. Probably. So we're not going to worry about any of that right now. Please tell me we're going to finish these troops in time. Okay, it's been bumped down to February 1st. They've delayed by a day, but that's not a big deal. Equipment-wise, we're throwing out their engineering equipment and shovels as fast as we can. I really can't go much faster than this. Air supply-wise, one thing I wanted to do was build up a intelligence agency. I want to start spying on the USSR because I want to get at least 2 levels of collaboration government with them before we are able to fight them back and capitulate them. That'll make it so much easier because I won't have to travel all the way to the Urals. So I absolutely need to have collaboration government with the USSR. For that, I need spies. So I'd like to get that up and running as fast as we can. I'm feeling very nervous about this. Very, very nervous about this. It really is going to come down to, can we hold the front line? And I think the answer is yes. And then can we hold ports against a naval invasion so I don't have to pull off the front line and then all of a sudden I lose? Because if they land, they're going to move fast. They're going to blitz. And I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea at all. But I almost guarantee you they're going to land along the ports. The AI likes to do ports. They tend to like on the port and then like 2 next to it, which is exactly what I like to do. So as long as we can defend those ports on both sides, I'm hoping we're going to be all right. Are there any additional forts we want to get? This is kind of my last chance to do so. The more forts we have, the better the kill-to-death rate and killing ratio we're going to have. But I also really need to be getting these military factories out. So you know what? I think we're going to accept that this is good enough and leave it. Close air support is ready for an upgrade. We're in the positives, right? Yes. So I don't have, like, a lack of fighters. All right, so we're good on that front. Let's go ahead and also pick up the soft attack to make our infantry just a little bit better. Again, the more casualties we inflict, the better. They're not going to have extremely high breakthrough, because my experience with the USSR, they're going to have a lot of infantry-based divisions, and if I have more soft attack than they have breakthrough, which my basic divisions will inflict heavy casualties on them, but we're not going to take very heavy casualties. If their stats are the same as mine, right, just assuming that they are, and the AI actually does build templates like this very often, all things being equal, if I sit tight and defend, I'm going to be I'm going to have like a 8-to-1 kill ratio, I believe. Something along those lines, which is exactly what we need, and the Forest Brothers is going to make that a lot easier. Let's go for patriotic re-education. Come on, these guys really need to be deploying in the next week. February 2nd now? Oh man, you're really pushing it, aren't you? This thing's gonna be done on February 9th. That's 1 week to move the troops before they launch naval invasions. 1 freaking week! That is not a lot of time, dude. That is not a lot of time at all! It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. We'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine, maybe. I can't predict naval invasions, that's the problem. I don't know where the AI wants them. They may be going down here. They might. I'm trusting the AI sees it as a lot easier to land over here and here. That's been my experience. We might want to train some additional Coast Guard units once these are done. Just to be safe. Because that's the one way I lose the war. If I'm right about... If I'm right about my front line, that's the one way I lose the war. We'll pick up a good defensive guy. You'll be fine. Area defense... ports. Here, here. It says I only need 2 divisions. I'm not sure I trust this guy to do it the way I want him to. Tell you what, fallback line. Here. Here. Let's start by doing this. This is overkill. I am committing to the idea that he's not going to land over here. But if I really can hold on to this port, anything he lands on the sides over here, superfluous, he'll have no supply, we can crush him. I just need to repel the initial attack. That's an agency done. I think I will go ahead and immediately move on to localized training centers, because the Soviets tend to have really good passive defense and catching enemy spies, unless you have a Russian spy that's been hired. So I'd like to get that up and running so that any spies I hire has a good chance of being Russian. That's going to get me the most possible value. All right, they're going to attack literally any day now. Troops are getting into position and they're going to entrench. They have finished justifying. There's the war. All right, moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of red, but my close air support has not gotten into place yet. In just a minute, I think we're going to see this all turn into green. Let's keep an eye. Yes, good, good, good. What about down here? He's trying. I got a lot more defense. He's got a fair bit of soft attack. I'm a little bit worried about this spot. Whoop, that's the sound of naval invasions. Hey, US, thank you for the support equipment. He landed over here. Ha-ha! Okay, he's actually trying to land some over here as well. You didn't actually get all your troops over here in time. Wow, that's how tight this was. So I'm going to send an additional couple troops down here, just so we have some extras ready to go to deal with whatever he's about to land. I'm worried about this one spot. He's got an intel advantage, and he's going for destruction of trains. I shouldn't be surprised. I'm going to send one more infantry and rush him down over here. Oh, wait. Nope. Okay, hang on. We're going to pop you out over here, and then run you this way, because if he runs down this way, he's going to get caught into a fight, which I don't want, but I want to have an extra troop stacked up there just to make sure I'm fine. Green across the board looks good. Troops are on the way. He's landed here. He can't win here. Now he's spreading out. Okay, so this is a problem. I actually think... I think he's not going to land over here right away. I think what we need to do is actually send these 6 over here as fast as we can. Before he gets to these ports. If he gets to these ports, I'm dead. He's doing shore bombardments, which is going to hurt. My troops are on the way. Let's see how fast we can get down here. And oh, okay. Hang on. We prevented him from going anywhere here. He's having to pull back. Hold on. We can get a general with adaptable. I don't care about that too much. By the way, did we get a new field marshal? I thought we did. Yeah, but he's not very good, so who cares? We were supposed to get some new generals. Did we get anyone who's, like, really good? No. Okay. That's fine. All right. Everyone now moves here to crush this, except I actually am going to leave behind a couple troops here now. I think we can possibly surround this and beat it. And then we'll split the troops up between these again, and we're just going to keep doing the same thing. See, he's trying to move around, but he's going to start losing a lot of supply if we can get these troops in position. But I really don't want him to do another sneak attack right here. So we're going to go ahead and get some troops to just stay behind for a minute to be safe. All right, he's still sending troops over here. He's actually managing to make some pushes. Hold on. I'm a little bit worried about this. If he gets this, it's not a huge deal, but it's not good. Let me think. He really is stacking up a lot over here, for sure. If I pull back one more soldier over here, it's a bit of a risk, but I think it's worth it. You're gonna go here. Finland rejects Soviet demands. By all means, attack Finland right now. I'm good with that. Okay, extra reinforcements are coming in. He's trying to push me back, but he's taking a lot of losses in the process. Here we go, here we go. Just gotta hold this. There we go, it's green at least. All right, how's my supply look? Wait a minute, did I forget to do something? Ah! I forgot to turn on the motorization. We did all of this without even having perfect supply everywhere. No wonder we're struggling down here. I don't have supply to get full power. This should make things a lot easier. Hold on. That would be important. All right, I want to prevent him from getting to this victory point, because that's how they get some local supply. We don't want that. Okay, keep pushing, keep pushing. You're doing all right, guys. We're doing good, we're doing good. So let's take a look at the initial attack and see what he lost. I lost 16,000 men, he lost 118,000. That's what we're looking for. That's what I wanted to see. Logistically, we have nowhere near enough trucks to deal with the need. That's why I'm trying to produce more. Might need to bump this up a minute. He's doing a lot of logistic strikes. Okay. Is there anything I can do along here that would make a big difference? War propaganda, no. I'd love to get some additional stability, but there's nothing I can do there. I forgot to swap over to war economy. Let's do that now. That'll help, so we'll have at least a few more civilian factories to work with. We got lots of repairing we need to do. He's trying to take down things like my forts. All right, now that we have supply, this isn't a problem. We are fine. All right, so if anything, we've actually overly tightened there. Let's go ahead and pull back a minute. And there we go. He's going to go ahead and try to regain himself, recuperate for another attack, get some planning bonuses. We're going to sit here and just do nothing. I do not really want to engage this, but we are. Let's go ahead and start training up some additional Coast Guard units. I feel like we're going to need them. Yes, I know I don't have enough support equipment. I am aware, thank you. But let's train them anyway, because again, I feel like this is the one thing that could get me killed. If we wait one day, we'll have the localized training center. I don't know if that makes much difference. Tuvan nationality. They're allies of the Soviets? Are they still going to get detected? They may not. Let's try it. You can start spying in Moscow, or I guess it doesn't really matter too much where you do. Let's spy in Minsk. Maybe get a little intel advantage. You never know. Okay. Soviet Union declares on Finland. That is going to distract them quite a bit. Troops are getting into position to attack. Let's go ahead and do a counterattack along here. Hungary joins the Axis. Don't care. Let's go ahead and attack. I'm going to push these guys out. It's not a lot of deaths, but it's some deaths for the Soviets. And I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and attack from over here. Attack from over here. All looking good. Counterattack along here. Boom. Okay, he is not attacking me anywhere at the moment. I need this to be a meat grinder, so if he doesn't attack, I'm going to feel really stupid. Maybe building the forts was actually a bad idea? I'm hoping not. They're probably going to attack. They've surely got to attack. Yeah, we'll see. Non-aggression pact from Finland. Absolutely not. Because I very, very much intend on attacking them. I think he's sinking my convoys. I think that's all he's doing. We've detected his subs. We can try to shoot them with destroyers, but it's not going to go very well. Okay, so we're going to clear out this little tiny group. He is attacking a little bit over here. I mean, we could try to go for counterattacks. Feels stupid, but we could try to get a more defensive position along the river. There's the patriotic re-education. This makes no sense. I think we want to continue down the economic side of things. Original designs, trade with neighbors, invest in the Baltic, military factories here, get civilian factories and do this, arm the nation. Wow. 10% extra factory construction speed if you go all the way down here. There's also 2 research slots, which would be very helpful. More fighters could be great. And then there's the mechanized. Let's, I think we're going to get the we could go down this route to try and eventually start getting rid of some consumer goods. Claims against the Soviets won't do me much good right now. I think it makes the most sense to go down this route. Start getting research slots and extra factories. If we can sit tight for a while, then I just need to continue scaling up. Now we can afford to go ahead and get an army doctrine. Integrated support it is. Let's pick that up. We can also go for regimental combat teams. Let's do it. Okay, that's pretty good. Really need to finish this up so I can redeploy my troops before he does another naval invasion, please. Okay. All of you assign here. All of you reassign here. That worked pretty well. So let's just get them all in position. Support weapons means I have even more defense value. He's not attacking. I really need him to be attacking me. Let's go ahead and research that mechanized. Let's just see. Let's just see. Let's see what happens. He's still not attacking me. How are we looking as far as, like, the air side of things? We are intercepting, for sure. He's sending in some, like, bombers and stuff, and I'm hoping we're intercepting these effectively. Sort of. Not great. My air detection is terrible, but his is even worse. The US is no longer supplying me with support equipment. All right. Hey, no. Thank you for getting us back on our feet. Much appreciate. Air doctrine? Could do that. I usually like strategic destruction. We could go for something else, though. Interception detection? Yeah, we could do this. Tactical bombers? I don't like that, though. I like close air support, though. Let's go for fighter detection. Let's boost this up. Yeah. Air support mission efficiency, great and all, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave that as is. Let's go back down here to the fighters, and let's go for another markup on engines. A couple levels of that, Mark II. I know we lose a little efficiency, but barely any at this stage. We might as well have just generally better fighters. I'm out of aluminum and rubber. Ah! Yes, that would be a bit of a problem. There we go, that'll help. Then we can start producing these at a much better rate. Let's swap over to producing some more CAS instead of fighters for a minute. How are we doing it logistically as far as trucks? We are going to be catching up at some point. Still not enough artillery. Once I start building up a stockpile of artillery, the goal is to start building up some offensive infantry units. We can go for another land doctrine. Man, we've stocked up a lot of cost reduction. This is great. Breakthrough on tanks and armor. That does very little for me. I'm probably going to go down shock and awe this time, because I think I'm going to have purely infantry-based armies. I think he's scared. I think he's chicken. I don't think he wants to attack. We might be able to bait this, though. Hold on. Hold on. What we can do is go for fallback lines along here and say, oh no, look at me. I have less troops on the front line. But I actually secretly have troops ready to rush in. It's gonna take more micromanagement on my end, but this might encourage him to try for something. And we do this for all of them. This is a little bit cheeky, I admit. And it could go very wrong very quickly if we're not careful. So I need to be very cautious about how we do this. Too many troops pulled off, we lose something, and once we lose it, it's really hard to get it back. But I'm willing to try if you are. So get that going, same deal over here. Can we get directly in here? Yes. Actually, I don't need to do that. Gotta be careful, though, because the lines are kind of spread out in weird ways here. Maybe we don't try this all across the front line. Maybe we just pull back in a couple of spots to start and just sort of see. You think? Like this. Maybe I'll pull back a couple of troops here. And let's just sort of see how this goes. I think so. All right. Pull these guys back. Hey, Soviets! My front line is more vulnerable than it was before. Don't you want to attack me? Okay, he's got more Navy presence down over here than he used to. I'm now worried that he is considering going for a naval invasion down here. But that is exactly the reason that we're trying to get some additional garrison troops ready. I want to have fallback lines in these locations as well. To be safe, let's pull back at least one soldier each down here. You don't need a lot of defenses in order to hold off on the ports. You really don't. Not many. I mean, these only have 3 infantry each, and they were mostly able to ward them off. The only places they got off on me were the places where I literally wasn't ready. So maybe we can actually afford... Okay, Finland's done, which means the USSR is about to bring a lot more troops down here. Let's go ahead and send these guys down here to be safe. I'd rather just make sure we hold on to the ports. Okay. Can't afford to lose the ports. Soviets, hit me with everything you've got. Coward! Chicken! Come on, do something. I may have built too many forts. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, never mind. There we go. All right. He went for it. He pressed go on the attack button. Guess who's attacking me again over here? That's fine. You know what this tells me? It means I really probably ought to consider building another fort over in this direction, because this has been getting hit repeatedly. So once they stop attacking, we will do that. I will send some extra reinforcements. I don't think he's going to get very far. There we go. We got extra reinforcements there. And we're looking for any red on the border. Looks like the answer is no. He's losing a lot more men. Ha-ha! You fool! You hath fallen forth mine trap card. He's attacking again! There we go. All right, so what do the casualties look like now? That's 200,000. So we got 10-to-1 kills roughly, 9-to-1 kills. This is good. This is exactly what you want to see. Most importantly, he should be exhausting a lot of his equipment. And if he starts running out of supply, so he's not fighting at full strength, we're gonna be in really good shape. When we have enough equipment ready, and we are almost back up to full strength here. Oh my God, my trucks though. He is bombing the frick out of my trucks. All right, that's a problem. Anyway, but once we get enough artillery, I'm gonna go ahead and start building up some offensive units, and then what we do is we start looking for ways to start cutting off his supply. Take out these 2 supply hubs, for example. He has to pull all the way back to Kiev. He starts taking a lot more attrition losses. Find a way to take out Minsk. Take out, what is this? Pskov? I think that's what that is. No, there's Pskov. Yeah, take out those. He's in trouble. Take out Pskov. He's got nothing up over until he gets all the way up to this front line, roughly. That's huge. And we could definitely fortify the crud out of the river. That means he has to fight even more on the back foot, and if he just wants to hold his front line against me, he starts taking lots of attrition, right? So this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want to do. This is working for me. My fuel gain is a bit of a problem, though. Hold on. We also need more aluminum, again. Hungary, you're a good friend. US, I'd like some oil, please. I hear you have this beautiful crude thing called oil. So we'll start importing that. That helps. All right. Construction-wise, we're almost done constructing all the military factories I wanted. We're working on these. I do need to do a lot of repair. But I think instead, we could build some anti-air, but I don't think it's worth it at this point. I think we just continue focusing on nothing but military factories. I will need some civilian factories just to keep trading. But let's focus on this to start and see how we go. This is great. Look at the green across the board. Look at the Soviets throwing themselves like an angry bull. This is so good. All right. We'll need to be ending up this video here. I can definitely get some boosts in my engineering companies. Should definitely do that for a bit of extra max entrenchment. But I think this is a good place to end things. So yeah, we're losing trains, we're losing trucks like crazy. That's actually the other thing that kind of scares me. That could become a problem. I'm gonna hold on my military experience. We're gonna design a new template. And if we can start logistically making this work, I think it's time to start going for the offensive units and just see if there's any tiny little attacks of opportunity we'll be able to do. Thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.